Welcome back to the Fit Mind, Fit Body podcast, special Gone Nuts series. It's time for a monthly update from one of our intrepid Gone Nuts athletes. How has their training gone? What are they thinking about with the event just around the corner? And what are they learning about themselves? All these questions and more will be answered in the next 15 minutes. Today on Fit Mind, Fit Body, we are checking in with yet another Gone Nuts nutter. I'm going to stop calling them athletes. No, they're very much athletes because what we're doing is a slightly crazy athletic thing. Bronte Smith, hello.
Hello. Nutter is the term that I'm getting very, very familiar with from family and friends and people that I talk to. So
It is quite funny, and maybe that's why they call it that, I think. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, apart from starting at the Stanley Nut and all of that, it kind of is appropriate, though. It does seem a bit nutty.
Oh, it sounds completely nutty, and I shake my head every time I find myself saying it. It's like, oh no, this is a crazy thing to do.
And now, and how many weeks do we have now?
What have we got? About 3.5 weeks. Getting really real. It's amazing.
That's what I was thinking. I was just hoping you might have said 4 weeks and I miscounted. But no, I think it's there it is, 3.5 weeks.
Mm.
You know
I've
how
been
they...
saying 4 weeks on the weekend. So yeah, 3.5 weeks sounds about right.
Yeah, good eye. Okay, how's it going? How are you feeling?
I don't know how I'm feeling. Feeling it's like where yeah, I am feeling like I'm completely crazy, and that is increasing like every single day that we're getting closer to
Yeah,
it.
I know that feeling. That's why I even started it with that kind of
Yeah,
like, oh my gosh, what are we doing?
it was like it's not this some abstract thing that we're just sort of training for. It's actually happening.
And how
Uh,
has your training gone?
pretty. It's been a bit of a slog the last four weeks since we talked, which has flown by as well.
Yes.
Um, yeah, it's felt like a bit of a slog,
Mhm.
but it has been my biggest,
Yeah,
like biggest month as far as time
yeah,
on legs in particular. Not so much in kilometers, but time on
yeah.
legs.
Me too.
It's been the biggest, and the week just gone has been my biggest in both distance and time on legs. So,
Mhm.
which, yeah, peak of it all. It's good fun, and yeah. So now it's just trusting the process.
So you're feeling
Um,
tired? You're a bit tired because of
yeah,
all that extra work.
yeah, feeling the tide. I had a nice bit of social clashes with like trying to figure out how I'm going to fit training around the social things that I really, really wanted to do, like a friend's wedding and a baby
Yeah,
shower and that kind of thing this
yeah.
weekend. So, yeah, I had to get a little bit creative with my times and go out at some more unusual times, like starting a hike at 2:30 in the afternoon.
Hot.
But yeah, oh, it was stinking. We had a nice breeze, but yeah, it was very, very hot.
Wow.
But yeah, but I also got the news from my doctor a couple of weeks ago that I've got low iron as well. So which
Oh.
isn't helping the tiredness factor either.
So are you just taking some supplements or are they injecting you with some extra iron? What's going
No, we're
on?
just attempting the supplements, like
Oh,
going hard on yes, iron tablets
yeah,
for a few months at least. So
yeah.
hoping that will have me feeling better at least in a few weeks, but we'll see.
I think it's quite a common runner thing, certainly running women, that whole low iron
Oh
thing.
yes,
Mm.
from the research I've been doing, it's runner's anemia seems to be the phrase thrown around, but yeah, something like 50% of female endurance athletes have low iron, so it's like yeah, incredibly common.
I don't know if this is true or someone said it to me or I made it up, but something to do with our feet, and when they hit the ground, it breaks the corpuscles or whatever. And
Yeah,
that is one reason that it
that's yeah,
happens.
and that's what I've have from talking to people as well as my
Mm.
own lovely internet research. That's yeah, what it seems to be like at least a
Part.
key part in
Mm.
reducing iron, at least yeah, reducing iron storage stores.
Mm.
But yeah,
Mm.
which is really interesting. Did not realize that.
No, well, I think it was the one time just like a normal club race here a couple of years ago. It was just at 8K. I'd done the same race, I don't know, since I was in my 20s, the actually exactly same race. And I just couldn't run any more than say, a kilometer, and then I just had to stop because my body wouldn't let me go any. It was the weirdest thing.
Oh,
And then I started crying from frustration. And then,
oh yeah.
and I never cry. I mean, I could do cry, but I don't cry public it's just not my thing. Anyway, I'm more likely to just start laughing. Um, and then, and then the doctor said, yeah, the really low iron stores, was exactly that. So I had enough to do my daily thing, but the moment, when we go for a run, that's not just getting up out of bed and having breakfast and going off to work or whatever. That's extra. Just had no stores left, which is
Just
what you
couldn't
were
do it. Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, I had this happen about 4 years ago as well during COVID. Yay.
Oh,
And yeah, the doctor was just like, how are you actually coming to work with these
yeah.
kind of levels? So thankfully it's not at that stage now. But yeah,
And
it's
you're
just
on
like, oh
top
yeah,
of it.
so familiar with this feeling.
Phew. All
Yeah.
right. Well, and what are you planning for the next 3.5 weeks? Is it, when do you start? Have you started dropping off already for a bit of taper, or is it?
Yeah, so this week is a bit of it's not so much a taper week, but it's just a pull back week.
Mhm.
So it's just as far as my plan is. So it's just shorter runs and no intervals or anything. No more intervals, which I'm really excited about, and no more hills.
Love my intervals.
Um, I actually really, I started to enjoy them as hard of a slog as they were. I actually started to enjoy them a little bit, which
Oh,
was is a good story from my point. But yeah, I'm glad that I don't have to do them anymore.
because you're
That I could
slowly
just
getting
choose to do them.
nuttier and nuttier.
Yeah, maybe that. But yeah, and then it's official taper, which is an increase from this week, but not by much. Which
Yeah.
is yeah, I'm really looking forward to. And even like running this morning, I was just like, I'm just going out for an hour, and I'm really just going to ignore any of the stats and just enjoy my run,
Yeah.
which was really nice.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I
Mm,
I went for a run this morning, and it's one of those times, and that's when I have to be careful now. I thought, oh, like, because before, I've been feeling pretty tired because, like you, lots more, just more time on my feet and just getting tired.
mm,
And all of the ups and downs and the drills and the speed stuff and things. And then I thought, oh, actually, I'm feeling good. I got out of because my husband dropped me somewhere, and then I was going to run around and then meet them up and do my normal run with them. So I just had the extra time. So I was like, oh, this actually feels really good. And you can feel your stuff starting to get fitter, I suppose. And it's just
mm.
the result of all that work that we've been doing. It's like, oh, I feel great. I'm standing up tall. I can feel flow. And it's like I'm open, you can just because you feel getting a lot of oxygen in and just everything's great. And then I caught up, got to my friends and went to the toilet before I finished off my run with them. And the moment I stopped and then started again, I was like, oh, now I'm feeling really sore. So I'm like, it's like the moment you say everything is, so I think I've got a lower hand. I'm fine, but there's a niggle that I now need to be aware of. Did tell my coach, and she said, well, that's it. No more, just like you said. No more hills for like we're going to start our more tapering type stuff now. So that it doesn't.
Yes.
So I'm like, yes, that's all I had to
Yeah.
say. Oh.
Yeah.
um yeah. So I don't know if you've ever had that experience before, but it's almost like you're congratulating yourself because I feel great. And then it's almost like
Next
I
minute
probably went a
is
bit
like,
hard, this
yeah. Yeah.
need to,
Or you yeah
feeling
hit
good.
the wall or something going, oh wait a minute, what did I do? Yeah.
In there. That was weird. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, that was my little bit of experience with li falling into my tapering weeks. I probably
Yeah.
would be a better. I'm forcing it to come maybe a few days earlier than it was going to. Whoops.
Yeah. Ah, look, at certain points you've got to do what your body tells you to as well, so
Oh, that's
it's
true.
like, and what I'm telling myself this is like, at this point I've done everything that I can do.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
it's just keeping my body healthy and moving.
Mm.
um,
And I guess that's
is
bit
the
I
attitude I'm taking
was
into the next month. So
happy. Yeah, like happy
mm.
about that I felt pretty good this morning,
But yeah.
even though I'd done a lot of stuff. So I went, yeah, that's actually pretty good. So we can trust our training, that our training's got us this far, and now we've just got to maintain it to this sort of level that
Yeah.
when we hit the start line. going straight up. Um, have you,
Yes.
who's thinking about that?
Yeah.
Have you've done a nighttime one already, haven't you? Did you say you'd
Just
done
the
one?
one.
Mm.
Yeah, just the one night time. And I think I'm probably, unless I have just so happened to be up at 9 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
that's all I'll probably do. I think
Yeah.
I was happy enough with it going, yeah, okay, well, I'll settle into it eventually.
Yeah.
That I'm just not going to do it anymore.
You're
Might
not
be a
going to be
mistake,
worried.
might not be. We'll see.
Yeah. You don't
Yeah.
want to trip over something before you even start. There'll be plenty of that in the
No.
race, probably.
Well, I've already done that a few times on hikes. So I've got a nice big bruise from a few
Oh,
weeks
no.
ago on my shin.
Oh,
Um, would recommend not challenging a rock with your shin because
really?
it hurts.
Oh, ow. Oh, yeah.
I've had to be a little bit gentle with that, just being very aware of because it's
Yeah.
almost felt shin splinty, which I'm guessing it potentially is. Like I potentially might have some kind of microfracture because I hit it pretty hard.
Oh, ow.
But yeah, it's been let's avoid all the injuries while on hikes and trail runs. I've got plenty of new scratches and scars and that kind of thing, but that's me as well.
We're proud of those. They just mean
Yeah.
we've been out there doing the things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did one. I've only had one fall. I've had lots of almost falls. So I'm very proud of my
Oh, same.
recovery. I'm really
Yeah.
good at recovering. Like, oh no. Pick your feet up.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one, I think it was a 2 hour trail run, hikey thing. And it was literally at the 2 hour mark. I looked at my watch and then I tripped up. It
Oh
was
no.
nothing, tripped over nothing. I didn't
Yeah.
even have a rock to trip over for
And
that.
that's the worst as well. Yeah. When you go, what is it?
Like,
There's something there that's now flown away, surely.
yeah, whatever. No, no, I think
Yeah.
it's just me. Distraction doesn't take
Yeah.
much.
No, especially when you're tired. And I think that was probably something that I've become very aware of when I'm tired. It's my coordination slash tripping over things is probably the first thing to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't think I've seen a lot of finisher videos because a lot of people I know have done this event, as I'm sure you have been aware of all this too. But I've very rarely have I seen anyone cross the line without some kind of scratch on their knee or something. It just seemed to be quite a common thing.
just common thing. Even just I remember I think it was the second, probably even the first time I did it, the 25, and I saw it all was getting overtaken by all the 50-kilometer people, and just looking at the back of them, they just had like mud and dirt all up the back of their legs, and I was just like, oh, did they just run through the puddles? And then I look back at the photo from when I did the 50K, and I've got dirt and dust all up my legs, and it's just like, I know that kind of thing happens. Like, not even if you don't trip over, it's still you get messy as anything. So,
Oh, that's so
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
What are you thinking about that you need to be careful about the most in the next 3 weeks? And I suppose it's, not being injured and things, but
Mm.
which we've touched on. But
Um, I think I think just my general health. I'm
Mhm.
just like considering the low iron, that kind of thing. I do just have to be aware and careful of what else I've got going on with the running, like adding all the extracurricular activities that I do anyway. But now I'm trying to fit around the running training. Yeah, I know I just need to be careful about overdoing it just in the next
Yeah,
3 weeks,
yeah,
which I have laid out my calendar for the next few weeks, and I think it should be okay, but I just can't really add too much more to the calendar.
it's kind of also because we have trained so much, our immune system's actually a little lower than it would normally be. So not just your
Mm.
iron, but also immune system. So yeah, you don't want to get a cold or, COVID,
No.
God forbid. But
Oh, touch wood.
it's trying to be really, sensible and treat yourself a little bit like you're a granny and don't want to
Yeah.
get in situations too much where you might catch something because you might be
Catch
a
that
little
thing. Or...
little bit more prone
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So,
Which I like to think I am, especially since COVID, but I know I'm not as much like I'm not as cautious as I could be. So
yeah,
it's just like, okay, let's take it to
yeah.
the next level for the next few weeks at least, and probably for a few weeks after as the body recovers.
I remember when I did my first few marathons a while ago that just that leading into the marathon and about this stage that we're at and you're starting to sort of taper. You didn't even step off the footpath without being really careful because you could just trip at any moment and then all of that training would just be gone.
And I think that's been my fear for the last few weeks, especially as I've done hikes and stuff. And the time that it is, we've seen quite a few snakes going out. I've been up quite a few of the mountain, made it a bit of a challenge to do some of the Ables, which are the mountains over 1,100 meters in Tassie. So which I've ticked off a few, which is exciting. But yeah, we're seeing quite a few snakes and doing some climbing over some big rocks with pretty steep drops kind of thing. I don't like that anyway, but it's going through my head. I can't afford to fall. There's no way I'm twisting or breaking a rib or doing anything, or I'm not getting bitten by a snake and having to go to hospital and get anti-venom or anything because of the last 14 weeks that I've been through.
Oh, yeah. You need
I don't want to do this training again.
No, you got to wrap yourself in a bubble. But of course, we're loving it as well.
There's no more mountains planned, so it's okay.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right. What are you looking forward to apart from the actual race, which of course you can't wait for?
I am looking forward to the Monday after the race. I've got a salt float booked, which I'm really excited for.
Oh.
And I know my muscles will thank me for because it's all Epsom salts. So I'm very excited for that.
That's an awesome idea.
Yeah. Highly recommend. In Devonport, they've got there's a lady who runs it, at least for the Northwest. So I would recommend if you're on the Northwest. I got a friend coming down next weekend, so we're going to hit a few waterfalls that she's really wanted to visit. Other than that, I'm looking forward to just taking it a bit cruisier on the runs and being slightly less goal focused for each run and just really getting back to enjoying them rather than ticking them off kind of deal.
Yeah. Until the next bee gets in your bonnet about what you want to do, which we can talk about in a later episode.
We'll see.
Something I ask you in a few weeks.
Well, I don't dare mention anything, I don't think, because my mum listens to these, and if I mention anything, she'll probably start having a go at me.
How nutty are you? Well, maybe we can use some kind of code. We'll see. Okay. Yeah. We'll see how we feel.
Mum, stop listening now.
Yes, right now. We'll just do a bleep that mums can't hear that because my mum's a bit the same. When do you get that crazy race over with? And we can, and you'll be less tired and you'll be able to come and visit me more often because she's in St. Helens. So anyway. All right. Thank you, Bronte. Is there anything else about what you've done for the last 4 weeks or what you've got coming up for the next 3.5 weeks that you want to share? I think we're going to talk briefly before the race as well, maybe on the 27th. Did I see?
Yeah, I can't remember with that one. Really recommend a lot of the mountains in Tassie because they're cool walks. There's been a few places that I haven't been to or areas that I've been to, but I haven't actually done the mountains. And it's just like, oh no, this is actually a really cool one, like Mount Bearcroft in the Cradle Valley.
Yeah.
So yeah, recommend people get out and have a bit of a goo and explore.
I think I've done that one. Is that the one where you go to the road and you park on the side of the road?
Yeah.
And then you walk up. So we did that as a 2-day car shuffle thing, and we walked up and then camped down the bottom and then finished at Cradle Mountain and then drove around and picked up the car.
Nice.
So yes.
I did look at the continuation track and go, oh, that would be actually really nice to do.
It was really pretty.
Maybe one day soon.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That was a great recommendation. Good job. All right. I will talk to you in 3 weeks. Good luck with your tapering. Enjoy it and don't step off suddenly any footpaths or anything. Just take it easy, all right? Imagine you've got a bubble all around here.
Steal some bubble wrap from work.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right. Thank you so much for sharing, Bronte. We really appreciate it. And well done. You've done great.
Thanks, Michelle.
And just like that, we're another step closer to the start line. Big thanks to our runners for sharing their progress and to you for cheering them on. Remember, it's the journey, not just the destination, that shapes us. Keep supporting our crew as they push towards that start line. And if you're enjoying this series, we would love to hear from you. Why not leave us a review and share the podcast with friends? Let's all go a little nuts together.